This is an extraordinary storyline, and what's so dark and devious about it is because the plan that he's put in place, he knows exactly what he's doing with what he's saying, the grooming process, luring her in, and just how actually easy it is to do to a young girl by just sort of taking her away from her family bit by bit, boosting her confidence, saying those things. It's scary.
Yeah, in counselling groups, they call it sort of love bombing. And it can happen to anyone of any age, actually. I'm a patron for a charity called Voicing CSA.uk, and there's a lady there to whom it happened when she was in her 50s.
CSA being child sexual abuse, yeah?
Yeah, CSA, child sexual abuse, and CSE, which is exploitation. And it's a way of getting somebody, giving them worth, giving them credit, paying them lots of compliments, giving them gifts, making them see themselves in a better light through your opinion in them. And then you flip it and you turn them into a guilt trap, which is about what's about to happen this week to Bethany.
Yeah.
And also, this is not for his, for his own personal pleasure. There is a wider group.
Yeah. He's done it before. He's done it to other people. He's doing it to other people concurrently. He's part of a gang. Bethany is falling in love with this guy who treats her really well and appears to love her, treats her kindly, welcomes her into his flat, into his life. But actually, he's in it totally for what he can get out of it financially, really. And
I think people are, like viewers, we feel quite protective of Bethany. But also, she's smart. Like, this has taken longer than he thought. So it does go to show that if it can happen to somebody like her, who is, she's a smart girl.
It's rare that it's the sort of the lost waif and it's the weird pervert. Most often, these things happen. The perpetrator tends to be your hero, and the person it happens to tends to be someone who's got confidence, who's savvy, who's smart, who's attractive. It's to themselves, it's a very strange currency.
So how does... And yes, currency, use the word currency, because she to him is a commodity.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's totally in it to get what he can out of her, whereas she's falling in love.
So how does he groom her to feel that it is acceptable to go to bed with one of the other members of this?
This is Neil.
Yeah, well, he sort of teases her about what grown-ups actually do or what is acceptable, and he's always saying, "Oh, you wouldn't understand. This is what it's really like. You'll get it when you're older," and constantly playing on a weakness that she has because she knows that she's so much younger than him. So it's about finding that weakness, and he traps her in it, and then sort of guilt trips her into the only way you can help me out is if you do this. And she sacrifices herself because she's so scared of losing him, and that's really what a manipulator does.
So how far? Because you've said to us that this is just the tip of the story, that it goes further. What can you tell us? What happens next?
She's going to be entering a very sort of dark place, and Nathan introducing his friend Neil is really just the sort of the beginning. I'm not sure how much I can say.
Is there going to be a proposal?
There is a proposal.
Right.
He wins her trust over. I mean, that's really the key message, is that he wins her trust over and makes her fall in love with him. And he does that through having a really great mate who's a girl, so he's obviously trustworthy. He proposes and gives her this amazing ring, so that's really lovely. And Bethany really is taken hook, line and sinker.
So what sort of a reaction, because I know you've worked very closely with victims, survivors of child sexual abuse, what sort of reaction have you had from them?
Brilliant, just amazing. The community that's out there for people who are victims or survivors, however they label themselves, is very, very warm and very, very supportive. Again, the Voicing CSA charity is led by, it's survivor-led, and they're wonderful people. But I've also met some incredibly strong people, some of the girls from the Rotherham case, for example. When they found out that Corrie were going to do the story, they did this dance in front of me. I was there at a charity thing, and they went, "Corrie are doing grooming, Corrie are doing," because they're used to just being splashed across tabloid headlines. They're not used to being sort of treated, ignored or labelled. And actually what's happened through Corrie, but also through the fantastic work the NSPCC are doing and Bernardo's, is really pushing this as a big problem we've got across the country.
Incredible storyline to be part of for you, but in a sad way, not one that you're going to be in for very long, I imagine. I mean, this can't end well.
I hope not.
No, exactly.
Oh, you wouldn't want him just now to, get a job in the Rovers, would you?
No.
Oh, he used to be a bit dodgy, but now he's really good with bitter. No.
And it was your dream to be in Corrie?
Yeah, well, no, it's, you know, it's
When
a
the
fantastic
role came through, do you think, as an actor, that's fantastic, or do you think, oh, it's not quite what I wanted?
Oh God, no! I absolutely, I actually burst into tears when I found out I got the role.
Did you? Oh.
But my wife, who's brilliantly supportive anyway. In fact, it was her idea that I did the marathon for the NSPCC.
Yeah.
She was just there straight away, and she said, "What a fantastic opportunity!" Because CSA is actually something that's very close to both of us.
Yeah.
And she said, "It's a great part, but what a great chance you've got to be part of a much stronger message."
You ran past this very building
background
on
there. I
Sunday.
feel a lot better now.
I was going to say, how are you feeling now? Are you
Actually, I'm really good.
inspired?
I've got one wound, which is where a carbo gel solidified.
that?
It's a sticky goo that you take.
Oh, right.
Look at that.
Ah.
But it solidified on my leg afterwards, and then came off, and it's ripped a whole layer off my
Like a
thigh.
wax?
Yeah, like a wax.
Carbo gel.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes to show
Without
just how
them, I
much
wouldn't
running
have been
we
able
do,
to-
doesn't it? Eh?
Yeah. A what? A what?